everybody. We are here with our Tuesday reading video. I had to take a look and see what we're teaching right now. And we are talking about the same story we read to you guys in yesterday's video, which were the 3 poems. There was a poem about cats, a poem about camels, and a poem about bats. And we are working with key details this week. So we're going to talk about one detail about each animal, one detail from each of our poems. So we're gonna help you guys out by doing one for cats, one for camels, and then you guys are gonna have to do one for bats on your own, which might mean if you can't remember that you need to go and take a look at yesterday's reading video again so that you can fast forward to the part about bats and see what you can get for a detail on that. All right, so thinking about what we read about cats as I'm remembering yesterday, I remember the beginning of the poem talking about the way cats communicate, that they hiss, and usually when they're angry or they're scared, they hiss. That they purr, which is what they do when they're happy, and that they said mew or meow, which is just kind of how they talk to each other and to us. I know my cats do that a lot when they're hungry. I hear them meowing, and that's them telling us, feed me, feed me.
Is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying. I'm pretty sure. I have, a sense about it. They communicate with me.
I get it.
I understand it.
She talks cat.
I do. I speak cat quite fluently.
So what are you going to write?
I think I'm going to go with a different detail though, because the second detail in that poem talked about how they groom themselves. They don't take baths like humans do. They use their tongues to groom themselves to keep them clean. And cats have a pretty interesting tongue. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a cat's tongue before, but it's got all these little like spikes on it coming out of the tongue. And it helps them clean themselves really well. So if you ever get a chance, if you have a cat, take a look at their tongue if you can. If you don't have a cat, it'd be pretty cool to Google what a cat's tongue looks like so you can see like an up-close picture of it. It's not what you would expect. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna go with cats use their tongues Tongues is always a tricky word to spell.
It is. Doesn't follow the rules.
It doesn't. The cats use their tongues to groom themselves, which we know what groom means. It's to keep themselves clean, right? All right. What about camels? Do you remember anything about camels?
Well, I loved reading about camels. The desert camel, actually.
Not dessert camels.
Not dessert camels at all. Desert camels. So yeah, I remember the camels. They talked about what they looked like. So they're pretty large animals, and they live in the desert, but they have humps on their back. And some camels, depending on whether there's people nearby, whether they're wild or they're owned by people, sometimes people ride them to get from one place to another. So instead of a car, people ride camels to get to and from a location, and that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't take a camel to work.
Never.
But if you live in different parts of the world, you might have to take a camel to work. That's just how they get around.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to write about their humps on their back and also how people can ride them. So I'm gonna. I always
got that
I always
tricky
get that
marker.
marker. I'm going to write camels have humps on their backs and can carry people.
Awesome.
People also has a funny spelling.
It does.
Kind of looks like Piopoli,
Piopoli.
but it's people. All right, so what do our friends need to do over here again?
They need to come up with a detail that they learned about bats.
Ooh. Can I give them a hint?
Sure.
Okay. I remember in the video, because they had a challenge yesterday, that they had to figure out what kind of animal a bat was. But in the video, I remember them saying bats are not, I'm not going to say it, but if they remember from,
I didn't say it.
You didn't say it, but you basically told them with your arms.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one animal that
No, there's not. Bats do it too.
Okay, true, but you're really giving it away.
Okay, that could have been a chicken. It's not a chicken, but it could have been a chicken.
Boys and girls, if you don't remember, you can use our clues to help you out, or you can go back and find a cool detail that you remember from the poem about bats.